Namaste. This week we'll explore water element, or our own sense of fluidity, of going with the flow, surrendering to the flow, flowing on the mat so that our breath and our movement come into union, which is deeply grounding for the body and focusing for our attention, our mind. In the energetic body, in the yogic philosophy of the energetic body, the pelvic center, which is associated with the uterus, with the sacrum, the whole pelvis, is the Svadhisthana chakra. And this energetic center is connected to water element and to our own ability to surrender to the flow of our emotional life so that nothing is suppressed, nothing is held on too tightly, that we can allow emotion and also allow sensation to flow through. And this is so important during childbirth, to allow sensation to flow through the body so that nothing is suppressed or we're not resisting the flow of our contractions that help to open to birth our babies. So we'll explore working into the hips, breathing into some intense sensations. Perhaps you can play with the idea on an emotional level as you move through this practice of holding on a little more lightly. I know so much is out of our control in the world right now. And one response to this fear can be to hold on a little more tightly, but it can feel really nice to start just in the body, holding on a little more lightly and cultivating this flow state. So give it a try. All you'll need today are 2 blocks, and you'll start at the back of your mat with your feet about outer hips width apart, as wide as you need to make lots of room here for baby. And you'll bend your knees and you'll spin your fingers in, hands on your thighs, and then untuck your tailbone. And as you inhale, arch your spine and look up like cowtail. Your arms are straight. And then as you exhale, round your back and look back towards your baby and scoop your tailbone. Arms stay straight. Keep it going. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, your knees stay bent. Untuck your tailbone. So can you really start to move that pelvic center? Exhale, cat. So sometimes we do cat-cow and it's just the spine moving. But can you move clear on down to the tailbone, the sacrum, so that you start to kind of rock your hips anteriorly and posteriorly. 2 more. Find that nice linking of your breath to your movement. Now come back to anterior tilt. Untuck that tailbone like a happy puppy. Bring your palms down onto the blocks and you'll spin your thumbs in and your fingers out like a Lego man hand. So you're gripping the block with the 4 fingers on one side, the thumbs on the inside. And then with your knees softly bent and your tailbone untucked, start to walk your block hands, your Lego man hands forward to your capacity without bringing too much weight out of the feet. So you want to have kind of even weight in the hands and the feet here. Look out beyond the top of your mat. It should feel like you're just making a whole lot of space around your belly, like you're making a hammock for your baby with your belly. And as you exhale, you can drape your head and set your bump between your thighs. So make sure your feet are wide enough. You can widen them further, my 3rd trimester moms here. Spin your triceps, that's your upper outer arms back. Melt your chest. Relax the weight of your head. Bend those knees, untuck your tailbone. You'll feel your abdomen and your pelvic floor soften and widen. Untuck that tailbone. 1 more breath. All right. From here, you can set your blocks to the side and we'll find our way into downward facing dog. Lift up through your tailbone, bend your knees, and take a big breath in. And exhale down to all 4s. Now, release to the tops of your toenails and lace your right knee on top of your left. So you're going to spin your toes to the back corners, right knee in front of left, all 4s. And from here, come on up to your fingertips. So your fingertips will be under your shoulders like water skaters, pond skaters, palms lifted. Can you pull your right hip crease back and then look forward, widen your collarbones, and we're gonna stir the hips. So circle your hips clockwise. Keep looking forward. So it's like you have a paintbrush on your tailbone and you're circling, 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 painting little circles with the tip of the tailbone. Sometimes this is called the pelvic clock. So you're drawing that full clock with your pelvis or Elvis, the pelvis, just circling. And then start to go a little quicker, like you're making a cappuccino with your tailbone. Froth it up. Go the other direction. Slow it down. Look forward. Grip down with your fingertips. Widen your collarbones left to right. Now go a little quicker. Of course, go just as quick as is comfortable for your body. As you get bigger, you might want to stay with a nice slow rate. But if it feels comfortable, go a little quicker. A little quicker. 3, 2, 1. And then find stillness. Grab a block and place it under your hands on the tallest height, a little closer to your knees. Hug your inner thighs together. Bring one hand at a time to your hips. Try to find your balance. Press down into your shins. If the balance cannot be found today, don't worry. Keep your hands on the block. But if you come on up, I want you to press your left hip, that's your back knee hip, forward. Try to square your body. And then reach your arms out if you'd like a little more challenge and up. Palms up, like you could catch raindrops like this in a V shape. Yeah, palms up overhead. So just cultivating this open, receptive nature, palms up. You can look straight ahead or hug the inner thighs in and find a little upper back bend. Maybe look up the wall, maybe look clear up to the ceiling. Feel the inner thighs hug in and the low spine lifts the chest up. Now we're gonna meet back with our hands on the blocks. So release your hands to your hips, move your pelvis back, bring your hands down onto the block, and now bring your hands down onto the mat. From here, step your right foot outside of your right hand. So there's space for baby. And then tuck your left toes and lift your left knee up. Pause in a lunge. Turn your right toes out just slightly so there's even more room for baby. Left hand to the ground, or if you need more space, left hand further off to the left, about 6 inches. Or a block. You can put a block under your hand. Now, root into your left hand. Open your right arm and twist from about your bra line up. Twist right. Can you get long from your left foot through to the crown of your head? And as you exhale, feel the space to turn to the right. 2 more. Now, as you exhale, take your right hand to your right shoulder. And we're going to bring the right elbow down towards the ground, right underneath your right shoulder. Right elbow down. You might want to grab a block of any height and place the block under your right elbow. And you might bring your right hand to your right cheek and just rest here. So you're still on the ball of your left foot. Right elbow is on a block or the floor, right inside of your right foot. And you're turning a little counter twist the other way. So the ribs and the chest and the nose point to the left wall. You might feel a nice stretch in that left hip. 1 more. All right, from here, feel free to take your blocks with you if you want a little lift under your hands or set them to the side and walk your hands all the way to the left. We're gonna pivot all 10 toes to point to this long edge of the mat. Now from here, bend both knees a little bit and untuck your tailbone, like flick your tail feather up. Walk your hands towards the left like you're playing a giant piano keyboard and start to bend your left knee and straighten your right. Good, and then go slowly, bend both knees, untuck your tailbone, walk your hands like your keyboard is moving over to the right. Walk, walk, walk. Bend your right, straighten your left. Of course, you could stay up high. You could have blocks under your hands. So we all are going to feel into the hips differently, but listen to your body. Feel, don't force. Take it back to the left. Take it back to the right. Now, if you're in the 3rd trimester, you're going to keep your hands on the ground. But if you're in the 1st or 2nd and you feel like you have this stability and strength still, you can start to go hands-free, giving yourself a big hug through the middle and then opening your arms as you find that side lunge. Let's just do this once more in each direction. And then center your pelvis. Prop up fingertips to the mat or the blocks. Turn your toes out, turn your heels in, and drop your pelvis down. Bring your hands to your thighs, supported goddess. So park your weight in your hands. Yeah, let your hips drop, your elbows straighten. And you get this lovely sense of tractioning up out of your pelvis. Lift and lengthen the lumbar spine, open up through the back ribs. We're gonna stay here and reach the arms up and just join the first fingertip to the tip of the thumb. Like you're holding up a full moon in your arms, and then you have a little moon in each hand. Utthata Konasana, the goddess pose. We're gonna circle the hips again clockwise. So a little hula with your hips. Notice what corners or edges of the circle are more challenging to draw smoothly, and get curious about those spaces where the hips are stuck. Go the other direction, go counterclockwise. Circling your tailbone, Elvis, the pelvis here. One more. Now, hands to your heart. Straighten your knees. Good. Spin your 10 toes forward. Find a soft bend in your knees, and you'll want to block nearby for this next one. Lift your heart. Exhale, fold halfway. Soft bend in those knees. Inhale, reach your heart across the room. Exhale, release your hands to the floor in front of your mat. I like to bring my heels in line with the back edge of my mat so that I make sure the feet are on the same line, that they're not offset. And then find down dog arms. So this can feel so nice as baby gets bigger. Give yourself room. Sometimes when we fold right on top of ourselves with our hands in line with our feet, like maybe you did before you got pregnant, the belly can tighten and harden, and the pelvic floor can tighten, and the tailbone can tuck under. So walk your hands forward, bend your knees, untuck the tail. And then you could stack 2 blocks under your brow center, or simply 1 if things feel more open today. So you're gonna rest your head, like support your skull here. Let your head have a little pedestal to just rest onto. And you can relax those muscles at the back of your neck, relax across your forehead. Just think of widening everywhere. Take up a lot of space. Sitting bones widen, tailbone untucks, and this opens up the pelvic floor. And the brow softens, the jaw softens. You feel this sense of widening through the space of the body, but also your mind widening, taking off the blinders. And then feel your breath widening into the sides of your rib cage. 2 more. From here, we're going to walk our hands back in and come all the way back to your lunge. So you can move your blocks with you. Spin your 10 toes forward. And then from here, we'll lower the left knee and come back to all fours and switch it out. So left knee will lace on top of the right knee. Come onto your fingertips. This will give you a little more room as you lace your legs. Toes point to the back corners of your mat. Pause on your fingertips and look forward, lungs forward, and secure the legs together. Draw your left hip crease back. Now we'll start our circle clockwise. And then start to go a little faster if that's in your wheelhouse today. Like you're whipping up some whipped cream with your tailbone. 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. Start slow. Map the circle. And then find your capacity. Make your cappuccino, your whipped cream. Whip it up. 3, 2, look forwards. 1. Find stillness. From here, grab a block. Bring it under your hands on the tallest setting, a little closer in. You could stay here the whole time, squeeze your thighs in, or come on up, hands to your hips. You could do one at a time. Now on this side, your right hip, you want to drive it forward with your left knee laced on top. Can you find the back of your right thigh and press your right hip forward? Stay here or make those cups like you're catching grace in the palms of your hands. Hug your inner thighs up, go up through your right lung, perhaps look up the wall or up to the ceiling. Lift your heart up out of the basin of your pelvis. 2 more. wherever you are. As you exhale, hands to your hips, and then come back to the block. So untuck the tail, move the hands to the blocks, and then back to the ground. Now, from here, left foot outside of your left hand. So you're going to unlace it and step it. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Here you are setting up for your twist. So if you need more space, you could turn your left toes out a little bit. You could even walk your right hand about 6 inches to the right, and then go forward from your ball of your foot, pushing into the ground, clear through the spine, and turn, draw your left arm up. So feel that this rotation really comes from the bra line up. There's this myth in prenatal yoga that we can't twist. We just need to make room for baby. So you don't want to twist the segments of the uterus. 20 weeks, your uterus is about belly button height. So basically, if you keep it from the bra line up, you're safe, and know that as you're earlier on, you can probably safely twist a little bit lower down into the thoracic. Wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. Feel your inhale lengthening and your exhale guiding you like wind in a sail into the twist. Now, left hand to left shoulder, and we're going to spin the toes forward and bring your left elbow towards the floor inside of your foot. So it might feel really supportive here to grab a block and place your left elbow onto it. Your right toes are still on the ground. You can support your left cheek with your left hand. And we're just finding a nice little counter twist here towards the right wall with your belly, your chest, your nose pointing to that wall. Breathe into your hip. This can feel really nice to unfurl that right hip flexor, open it up. And then you can move the blocks with you or just set them to the side. We're going to spin all 10 toes towards the back of the mat. Walk your hands to the center. Bend your knees a little bit. And then start to go over to the right like you're playing a big piano keyboard. Walk your hands right. Bend your right knee, straighten your left. And then bend both knees as you come through the middle. So the hips are more open now. Can you get your butt down low and flick your tail feather up, untuck it, and go left. My first trimester moms, second trimester moms still feel safe in your joints. Try no arms. Third trimester mamas, keep playing that piano keyboard. Side to side. So with or without the arms, let's just do this one more time in each direction. And then you'll come right on back through the middle, bend both knees, perch up on your fingertips, spin your heels in, spin your toes out, Utkatta Konasana, the goddess. Support yourself, bring your hands to your thighs. Take a little twist, look over your right shoulder, press into your left hand. We're gonna hold here 2 more. You might lower your torso down a little bit more. Lean back with your right shoulder blade. Lengthen the low spine out of the hips. Lots of room for baby here too. Side 2, come back through the center, twist left. 2 breaths here. And as you inhale, get long from your right hip to your right armpit. And as you exhale, lean it back with your left shoulder. All right, back to the center. Now scoop it up like you're holding up the moon, first fingertip to the thumb, and start to circle your hips clockwise. Notice where in your circle your hips are less fluid, less fluent. Smooth it out. Connect the dots. Go the other direction. Find stillness, hands to your heart. Straighten those knees, spin the toes forward. You'll want a block or 2 nearby. You might line your heels up at the back edge of your mat, lift your chest, and then exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the floor in front of your mat, so you're making space. You want to make space here at your bump rather than harden and clench in your belly and your pelvic floor. So we deliberately untuck the tailbone as we come into flexion in the hip and pull the heart forward. Yes. Okay, so from here you can walk your hands forward and grab a block or 2 under your brow center. You might lower the stack a notch. You might lower 1 block a notch. Now that things feel more open, and breathe. Two more. Feel that sense of widening, expansive breath, expansive body. Last one. All right, from here, you can walk your hands back in so the wrists are right under your shoulders. And then from here, let's take it back to the top of the mat. Take it back into your lunge. Lower your right knee down. Let's take child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide, arms forward. And if you are encountering a space restriction, maybe you have a shorter torso, you're further along, you might stack your hands or put a block under your forehead. Roll across your forehead like you're massaging your worry lines away. Press lightly into the forehead and roll from your left temple to your right. You might start to feel this deep down into your inner hips, your groins as you roll your head, your spine, and your hips will follow. It's all connected. Let it all move. Like water. Soft, fluid, responsive. One more. Full exhale. Lovely. And then come on up. And from here, we're going to come into pigeon pose. So tuck your toes, lift your hips, and we'll inhale the right leg up. As you exhale, draw your right shin through. So the hips can feel pretty tight during pregnancy, all that extra blood volume and gait changes. And if you want to support your body, it can feel really nice to put a pillow or a block under your right buttock. Now, we're going to pause here. Keep the toes tucked under, whether you have that block or not. Try to grip down to your fingertips. Fingertips could also go on to a couple, flying block, a couple of blocks here, like you're on a throne. Yeah? So I want you to just press into the pinky toe side of your right foot, activate that hip, lift your heart, and we're going to undulate through the spine 3 times. Third time, we'll settle and release to the back toenails. Stay on your toes for now so you can drive your left rib cage forward. All right, so inhale, lift your heart. And as you exhale, roll down. Keep looking up through your belly, your ribs, your chest, and then your head. Just go as low as you comfortably can. And then roll up, low back, mid back, chest, head. Undulate down, low belly, ribs, chest, head. Drop your head, roll up, low back, mid back, heart, head. Third one, we're going to stay down, lower belly, ribs, chest, head, and stay. So if you're further along, you might just stay on your forearms here or even forearms here. If you're going deeper, you could put a block or stacked fists under your forehead or palms, flat palms under your forehead. Now close your eyes and notice the sensation in your body. Breathe down to your hips. So see if you can lean in and let your breath wash down to whatever strong sensation you're picking up in your body. Awareness of your body, awareness of your breath, awareness of impermanence. Just like watching clouds in the sky, these sensations will morph and ebb and flow and rearrange. Follow your breath down to your hip. Lean in. One more. All right, from here, slowly come on up. Walk your hands towards the left so that you're facing the long edge of your mat. We'll have the right knee bent and the foot in front of us. We'll have the left knee bent a little bit too. Press down into your left heel. Fire up your left leg back here by pushing the heel down. You'll feel your hamstrings turn on. You could put a block under your left elbow. That can be really supportive. Take your right hand to your sacrum. Lean back, open your chest. So with the right hand behind you, it's going to really give you this width of your collarbones. Now sweep your right arm up, and you're going to cradle your head with your left hand. Cradle it also with your right hand. Widen your elbows. If your left elbow can touch the floor, you can get rid of that block. Optional. You can keep the left knee bent or straighten it. Think of cradling the base of the skull and tractioning up through the neck. So you're using the hands here to kind of widen through the collarbones, elbows apart, but also to slightly traction the base of the skull up off the top of the neck, those suboccipitals. One more breath. And then neck release. Drop your right hand. Relax the weight of your head to the left. Heavy head, easy neck, easy jaw. And then as if someone is pulling on your right hand, come on up. Plant your right palm to the ground and let's come into stargazer. Press your hips through. Breathe under your bump, this often neglected low belly. Breathe under your bump. Look to your left hand thumb. Press your pelvis forwards. One more breath. And then let's find our way back, all fours. Take a deep breath. Exhale, knit into that deep core. Put it all back together. One more. Exhale, knit in like you're giving your baby a hug. Good, now we're ready. Down dog, lift your hips. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left shin through for pigeon. So you're gonna lower down onto the shin or feel free to tuck a pillow or a block under that left buttock if it's feeling tighter these days. You can also put blocks under your fingertips. Keep your back toes tucked. Use your back toes like a little rudder to steer your right rib cage forward. Square yourself as best you can today. And we're gonna build fluency and fluidity, an undulation of the spine, awaken that synovial fluid, get the spine feeling juicy and good. So start by lifting your heart, inhale, and then exhale, lower belly, ribs, heart, head, roll up, low back, mid back, heart, head, roll down, belly, ribs. It's like babies leading the way. Belly leads, chest, head, roll up, low back, mid back, chest, head. Last one, see how you can build fluidity, fluency through the whole spine, sequencing your way down, and we'll stay. So you could put a block under your forearms or fists or flat hands under your forehead. You can also bring your brow bones to your palms with your elbows even on a block if there's a space restriction. Release to the top of the right toenails if you're still tucked under, and breathe down to that left hip. So a lot of the movements today, we repeat the circling, the undulating, that fluidity. And as we repeat, it's like greasing a bike chain, and the bike moves more fluidly, more fluently, like learning a new language. We stumble over the letters and then we develop fluency. And so too, as a new mom, we develop fluidity and fluency with the new rhythm of life. And at first, it's like learning a new language. If you're nursing or adapting to a nap schedule, just have faith it will become fluid and fluent. It will evolve. 2 more. All right, from here, come on back up. And let's pivot towards the right. So I'm going to face you. You don't have to switch your facing. I just want to face towards if that's easier for you to see what you're doing, but you'll be facing the back. So your right leg is out to the side with a little bend in it. Press into your right heel to wake up the hamstrings. Your left foot is in front of your hip, and you could put a block under your right elbow if you'd like. Take your left hand to your sacrum, widen your chest. From here, you're going to sweep your left arm up and bring the hands both behind the back of your head. Now, if your elbows are closing like this, do the opposite, widen them, and you can use the track of your thumbs to lengthen the base of the skull up off the back of your neck. Feel free to straighten the right knee or lower your right elbow to the ground if you have more flexibility here. You can seal your left heel point to your pubic bone or your inner thigh, and that can give a sense of stability as you lean back and revolve left. So you're leaning to the right, but you're also leaning back and revolving left as you side bend right. One more. And then we'll move into that neck release. So left hand down below the shoulder, heavy head, easy neck. And slowly, like someone's pulling on your left hand, come back up. And we'll plant the left hand and we'll press forward with the hips. Stargazer, see your right hand thumb tip. Breathe under the bump. Huge breath in. Exhale, take a seat. All right. From here, bring the soles of your feet together. So if you are earlier on, you can bring your heels back in towards you. And as baby gets bigger, you of course want a little more space. So it becomes the Tara pose, Tarasana, with the heels a little further out from your pubic bone. So there's space for your belly to fold. Or you can come in close, do what works for your body. So play with what you've got. You can also use your props here. You can stack them up under your head. Maybe your head doesn't even get close to that. You could sit in front of a sofa and rest your forehead on the edge of the sofa seat. Lift your chest, inhale, and as you exhale, come forward into your version of Baddha Konasana, opening your inner thighs. Now, as you relax here, can you root down into your sitting bones? Press down through your thighs. Spread forward through your spine and the back of your heart. And then as you create that scaffolding and that space in the bones and the muscles, start to move your attention more internally. And relax your belly. And breathe down to your baby. And relax your pelvic floor, the muscles between your pubic bone and your tailbone. And your two sitting bones. The ground floor of your being. Your Muladhara. From here we rise and bring the legs into straddle. So just like you did in that side bend, you are welcome to keep a slight bend in your knees, push into your heels. You're also welcome to sit on a block or a folded up blanket or cushion. If you feel like you're back on your sacrum, this is really important during pregnancy to get up on your sitting bones because the tucking and untucking of the tailbone really does affect the tone and the space in the pelvic floor. So untuck that tail, sit up on a cushion if that helps you with it. Okay, knees bent or straight, reach your arms out, grab opposite elbows, lift up. And then from here, we're gonna walk our hands forward, but keep this space. So we've made a lot of space by lifting up. Don't go back here as you walk your hands forward. Keep letting baby lead the way, like when you did your spinal sequencing in pigeon. Find your edge, and then go back to your breath. You can rest your head on the seat of a chair or a couch if that works better. You can stay completely upright if you prefer. Close your eyes, soften your brow, breathe down to your baby, your belly, your pelvic floor. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, tone the pelvic floor in and up, 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 up. Dynamic Mula Bandha. Inhale, relax, soften, widen the pelvic floor. And exhale, hug in, up, 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 up. Dynamic Mula Bandha. 3 more. Inhale, relax. Exhale, engage. You do 2 more on your own. So as we inhale, our lungs fill, our diaphragm presses down, and the pelvic floor mirrors that. It softens. As you exhale, your lungs empty, the diaphragm lifts, and the pelvic floor rebounds upward. So we're riding the breath with both actions, engaging and softening. Working with what is already happening naturally within the body, breath by breath. All right, let go of that. Walk your hands in, come on up. Use your hands to gather your legs back in. Nice work. I hope you feel a bit more fluid in your body and open, spacious around your sense of mental space, peace of mind.